3391.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
President Abraham Lincoln once said, most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. You guessed it. We talk a lot about business here. You're on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you're there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you won't want to miss. It's a live show. You can call us at 312-642-5600. This week, we've got a fantastic lineup of guests. We've got the founding partners of Amark Consulting. We've got Wayne Weingarten, who's going to tell us about some interesting business statistics and where Illinois lines up. And we're going to be talking with Desmond Clark, who is going to share with us some great information about his organization. And we are also joined by the new Playmakers Spotlight. At the end of the program, I'll be sharing some tips on how you can pick a bank for your small business. That's right, it's a live show. You can call us at 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. Check them out, tandemhr.com, or give them a call, 630-928-0510. So thrilled to be joined in studio by Kelly and Martin, who are the founding partners of Amark Consulting. And I've spent some time on Amark's website, and you guys are doing some fantastic things. So, Kelly, let me talk to you first. Tell us a little bit about the organization, the kind of businesses that you work with.
We work primarily with manufacturing companies, typically oil and gas, aerospace, machinery manufacturing.
Well, that's an interesting group of businesses, and I'm sure every day is a lot of fun. Martin, why there's so many great consulting firms that are out there? You must be different. I'm sure you're not just one of the many, many, many firms that exist in Chicago. What differentiates Amark?
Yes, that's very right, and it's mainly based on my experience in the corporate world. And I was always looking for consulting companies that come in and provide tailored solutions and really help me while I was on the other side of the table to address problems which I couldn't address on my own with the talent I had. So, and that's exactly what we are trying to do, tailored solution which have an impact, a seeable, a determined impact on the company.
Well, that's fascinating, and that certainly is a differentiating factor. But Martin, with your accent, I'm sure you're just from the south side of Chicago. Tell us a little bit about your background and where you're from.
Yes. Actually, no. I'm originally from Vienna in Austria, and have a background in mechanical engineering and business, and was lucky enough to join a global company, a global Swiss company, and spend many years in Eastern Europe, Asia. At one point in time, I was in charge of running 16 organizations in Asia, and finally ended up in the U.S. about 9 years ago. It started out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and 4 years ago then finally made a move and opened my own company.
That's fantastic. So you're a founding partner of Amark Consulting, along with the beautiful woman that's sitting right next to you. Kelly, tell us about your background.
My background is actually in the financial services industry, and during my MBA, I focused on marketing and management information systems and got involved in a lot of market analysis. So I'm the senior market analyst for Amark, and I provide a lot of value to companies to help them understand where their true potential is in the United States and internationally.
Interesting. So many of our listeners are small business owners, and I'm curious to hear your story. Obviously, what the kind of services that you could provide and the kind of consulting you could provide to businesses, but also what your experience has been in running a business. You guys are, after all, co-founders of a growing small business. Kelly, how has that experience been? What are some of the lessons you've learned along the way?
It's an adventure every day, that's for sure. So we were founded in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then decided to expand a few years ago to the Chicagoland area. And what we were finding is we had a lot of clients who were looking to go international. And we felt that Tulsa was a little bit small. We needed a better international hub. And we were looking into Houston and Chicago is just a great place to run a small business and to work with these companies going international.
It sure is. And Martin, if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about some of the customers that you work with. Why do they choose Amark, and why are you a good fit for them?
And it's a couple of typical scenarios. We normally work with small to medium-sized companies, and we say short, we are helping them grow. And what we are seeing in the market is many companies, great companies out there, great ideas, but in many cases they need a little bit of a help. They need a little bit of the experience we can bring to the table in helping them grow faster, develop the organization. And as I said, we try to do not be there all the time. We come in, we work on the project, we take the company to the next level, and then hopefully we can move on to the next client.
Interesting. So I see that one of the services that you're providing, one of the important services that you're providing, is sales and marketing strategy development. So for our small business listeners that are out there that are looking to grow, what advice do you have for them?
I would say we see many of our clients who spend a lot of time, hundreds of pages on a strategic plan. And all it does, it sits on the shelf for another year and then it's dusted off.
I'd say a rule of thumb, I'm curious, Martin, if you would agree, if you're spending more time writing it than you're doing, then there's probably something wrong.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we just published an article where I make exactly that point. It's not the strategy where companies fall apart, it's the execution.
That's right.
And
that's right.
If you're a small business, take some time, sit back, maybe 10, 15 pages, but really focus on what do you need to do to get there?
On the flip side of that, there are many businesses that just want to get into business. They just want to run, and they never take the time to sit down and discuss strategy. Is that where Amark can help, Kelly?
Definitely.
So tell us a little bit about the process for one of those many businesses that you work with, and aerospace is an example. What a fascinating industry that comes in. What's the process? How do they work with you?
Typically, what we would like to do, we normally start off with a day or two on site, work with the leadership team, and try to really understand what's the individual situation, what are the specific problems they have, or where are the opportunities. And we typically take the team then for a couple of hours off-site, moderate, take them through.
Probably a good game of bumper cars.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. What better bonding experience than bumper cars?
Absolutely. And then from there, sort of coach and mentor them to the process. So we are not the ones coming in telling you what to do. We are the ones helping you to cover all the angles, to look at all the aspects that are out there and help you build that strategy.
Amazing. Amark Consulting, you've got offices in Vienna, Austria, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Chicago, Illinois, a growing small business. So do you have people that you work with, other consultants that help you in in executing strategy for your clients?
Yes, and that's what we are very proud of. We have a fantastic team, a very diverse team, a lot of experience. We try to bring team members on board which have specific industry experience, but we also partner for areas which we cannot cover. We partner with other consulting firms which have a focus in those areas.
Fascinating. Wow. Well, a great growing firm. And again, when did you get started?
3.5 years ago.
3.5 years ago, and it sounds like you've already been able to make a nice impact in a growing business, but also, most importantly, for your clients. So I know our listeners will have questions. I know they're going to want to hear more. Talk to the fantastic team, Kelly and Martin. Thanks for joining us. Kelly, how can people get a hold of Amark Consulting?
You can visit us. We have a page on LinkedIn for Amark Consulting, and you can also visit our website at www.amarkconsulting.com.
Fantastic. And I really appreciate you guys coming in. We'll be sure to monitor your progress, bring you back in to provide more tips, advice, and information to all of our small business owners. Kelly, Lusson, and Martin, thank you so much for joining us on Get Down to Business.
Thank you so much for having us. It was a great pleasure.
Fantastic.
Have a great evening.
You too. Well, after the break, we're going to check in with executive business coach and award-winning Vistage chair, Dick Smith. That's the Playmakers Spotlight. Get Down to Business is powered in part by Everett Wealth Solutions, a registered investment advisor and financial planning firm, a fiduciary advisor that helps you create your personal wealth. You can find them at everettwealthsolutions.com or call 708-771-7777. That phone number is so easy to remember. It's 708-771-7777. And I strongly encourage you to get a hold of our guest, Kelly and Martin of Amark Consulting at amarkconsulting.com. They just provide some great tips, advice, and information about strategy. So often businesses get off track of that strategy. And but keep in mind, don't spend too much time being strategic, as Martin just said. Make sure you build in that practical implementation and execution time as well. Again, after the break, we're going to check in with executive business coach at award-winning Vistage Chair, Dick Smith. At the end of the program, I've got some great tips on networking, as well as how to select a small business bank for your business. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Don't touch that dial. We've got a ton of information for you. You're listening to Get Down to Business.
Stuck